Продолжение великолепнейшей игры под названием Disco Elysium. Это одновременно и сарказм, и правда. Так, буй, Руби в деревне. Видите, откуда был выстрел.
I was just thinking,
Так,
what a nice day for...
Хорошо. Уходим. Насчет, если сейчас спеть.
The stage is all set up for your performance. Feels silent. You can hear the pellets creak under. You feel a little dizzy, a little
So, are you ready for your thing now? Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel.
%. Драма 10. Давайте снизим шансы. Драма. А, да, наоборот, у меня уже все в драме, короче. Я уже так повысил шанс. Ну, в принципе, вечер, да, поехали.
So, are you ready for your thing now?
The air is thick with anticipation. The tape clicks into the carousel, and then the music starts.
Oh, shit.
I would often go there, to the tiny church there, the smallest church in Saint-San. Though it once was larger,
О, первый раз голос слышу наш
how the real may rest there. Down through the mist there, toward the Seven Sisters, toward those pale cliffs there. I would often stay there, in that tiny yard there. I have been so glad here, looking forward to the past here. But now, you are all alone. None of this matters. No, none of this matters at all.
Not bad.
Yes, not bad at all.
Okay, yes. I'm going to unplug the microphone, so you can get off.
Отлично, отлично. Давайте одеваться сразу. Так, что там еще? Штаны. Так, какие штаны у нас? Ту-ту-ту-ту-ту-ту-ту. Все, идем, короче, на берег. Там у нас все квесты сейчас.
The trap is full.
Смида так и нет, да. На побережье к западу от пирса. А где у нас пирс? Пирс, блядь, где здесь? Пирс, вот он, да? К западу от него это вот тут. Ну, кажется, я понял, где он. Кажется.
The trap is filled.
А Змида все еще не видать. Давайте по краю сходим. Вот он будет, да? Да, вот он.
A metal and plastic contraption bobs up and down amidst the trembling reeds. At first,
That over there must be the boy class you told us about. The one she hid her passport in. We should take a look.
ooh, hidden things, secrets. You lift the boy out of the water without much effort. It's not tied to anything. The cord's dangling from the number 11 has been written on the yellow plastic. It hasn't been in the water for very long, but it's already discolored and slimy with silt. A latch holds it close, but only just barely. The brittle metal of the latch has cracked.
Simple construction. Very unsafe.
There's something in there, splashing around. It smells like you would expect it to smell. A concentrated version of the water this side of the peninsula is cleaner, actually. Smells a little salty. A shot glass's worth of seawater pours out, some algae, and nothing else.
Обманула.
Well, damn. I have no idea. I wouldn't go so far as to say that. This is only a small loose end, but I do wish we knew who took the documents. That may very well be the case. We should keep an eye on her. Nothing more for us to do here. Let's go.
You could ask the miss what she thinks, later if you have the time, though you doubt she'll tell you much at this point.
We still got here too late. There's nothing of use here anymore. I have no idea. I wouldn't go so far as to say that. This is on. In my experience, cryptids are generally uninterested in travel documents.
You could ask the miss what she thinks.
Хорошо. Дальше.
A few locusts try. The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other watches him do it.
What bad people?
I don't think questioning 4-year-olds without their parents present is gonna...
Then we're definitely doing it.
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. What's on your mind, officer?
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with? Nay, I haven't.
Because she's blind, which you seem to have forgotten.
This is my little cinder block town. I know what goes on around here.
She's being evasive. She knows something.
There was a murder in Martinez. She might be a suspect. We would appreciate your help.
Would you now? I know how this world works, and it doesn't work when people tell on each other. No, it's not like that, man. With him, we called you. Right now, you just arrived by yourself, like a raven plucking at the window glass. There's not much to tell. People come and go.
I see, ma'am. I hope you don't mind if we look around anyway.
You should look around your shack. Maybe she's rented it out to others too.
Давайте алкашей спросим. Это бесполезно, конечно. Дети, алкаши, это все... Ну, не туда, короче.
Tequila sunset.
can't really remember seeing any women after losing my keys.
It's a touchy topic. He hasn't got laid in ages. He really has no idea who this Ruby is, sire.
The legend! He's... Don't call. Don't call her.
There's no waking him from his stupor.
Не звоните, блядь, этой мадам, иначе она его загробастает и не даст ему пить. Будет ему мозги выносить. Ах ты, сука, что ты спишь? Да раз.
I'll just keep the Cordeleche in the channel, if that's okay. It's too shallow near the pier. Hi, ma'am. And it's a jetty, by the way. Of course. Jetty. I prefer a good jetty to a pier any day. Jetty?
Something about the way she says it makes you want to sing.
Oh, jetty, oh, jetty. It's good to see you here, detectives. I only just arrived myself.
What brings you here, madame?
Nothing, really. I've had my eye on this jetty for weeks now, so I decided to investigate it personally. This cluster of...
That. And she's also keeping an eye on you.
Spying has such a negative connotation. I did track your progress along the coast, however, and decided I would be better able to... Then there's the matter of that little scamp in old lady clothes. She threatened to paint the Cordeleche red. Like blood, you see. Well, I like...
What is this? Destruction of property? Hooliganism? Elder abuse?
No need. Lillian and I are getting on much better. For one, she appreciates the concept of rent. How do I like it?
Water drips down eaves of Eternite. The jetty below her feet creaks to the tune. The smell of salt and dog shit in the background.
It's pornographically poor. The street has no name. All the men are dead or missing. And is that the carcass of a motor carriage over there? I'm surprised that woman hasn't put me to the sword yet. Maybe she will. You should ask your questions while you...
Dark eyes survey the coast leading up to Martinez. Dull grey metal rests in her scabbard. A sword. The wind is too loud for her to hear.
Fortunately for you, madame, the RCM is on the scene.
All right. Politics time. Real men. Real politics. Real thoughts in your head.
Maybe. Have I told you how they discovered this place? No, they're in Celindian, Isola. Well, your condition has left you no worse off than most of these people. The literacy rate is around 45% west of the river. 50 years of occupation have left these people in an oblivion of poverty. I knew you would sympathize. Most Revacholians will never know what this place means. Our home. This island of matter. or why they were ferried over in the first place. Remind me to tell you one day. For now, how can I assist you in this new location?
Do we?
I hear you have singled out a suspect and are in pursuit. This is cause for caution. Maybe there is something else I can assist you with while you're hot in pursuit?
Нет, старуха, нет. Ты мне ничем не поможешь. Да. Погнали в хижину. Ну как она может в этой хижине быть, если я в ней ночую, типа, 2 или 3 дня подряд уже, последних. 2 дня точно, минимум. Это как это, блядь? Так, что это такое?
As you look at the floorboards in this corner of the shack, it's clear the edge of a floorboard next to it looks scratched. Hollow space underneath the floorboards is dark and damp. You can barely make out the mixture of sand and sawdust below. Nothing particular catches your eye. Looks like more reeds. There might be something hidden in. You stick your hand in and start combing through the sand. Dry, not like outside. Fine dust. And then, a small cylindrical object. You pull it out. A bullet. A 9mm bullet, to be exact. Fit for all muzzle loaders of that caliber. The floorboard isn't interested. Maybe the washerwoman is. You have enough to confront it.
Да. Очко навыков есть. Сила воли, эмпатия, авторитет, полицейское внушение, эквилибристика, координация, трепет, сумрак, электрохимия, грубая сила, координация. Давайте грубую силу прокачаем.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with? Damn that girl.
And without anger, a long and harsh life has taught her.
But it? You didn't put it there, did you? She did.
Gone and hid things in there? She's usually a good tenant, and not a stupid one. Yes, I let my room to that Ruby girl. As I've done before when she's been in trouble or just looking for solitude. I've made it clear, we welcome all kinds of people here. She came last Friday, left on Monday in a hurry. What has she gotten herself into?
Ну да. Правильно. Я уже после нее заселился.
That's for the police to find out. Right then, please answer each question to the best of your ability. I'm sure we have a few.
I cleaned it, like I always do. No.
The truth, sire.
How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go around toting a gun. Nothing of the sort. Sure, she was no stranger to the bottle. She fit in that way. But I only knew her to have a beer on the beach while watching the sunset. She isn't what you call a drunk. Even offered me some from time to time. Said it was part of the communal life. But I never saw her lose control of herself. Though, yes, early with the dogs.
She probably heard the lieutenant's Kanema drive by, and it woke her up, just like it did you.
Yes. That is a downside of having a 130 kilowatt engine. It lets the bad guys know when you are coming.
Not that I know of, though she was into nice music. She once showed me
Ты могла
a few
видеть, ты же
mixtape
слепая,
videos
ты же
she'd made.
очень хуёво видишь, блядь. В смысле не видела, блядь. И видеть не могла, по сути, да?
Although I guess she was pretty handy with the mechanical and technical stuff. Even fixed the heater in the shack. You should be thankful for that.
She may simply have kept the equipment elsewhere.
She's good company. Knows how to talk to an old woman. At my age,
Did she talk to you much during her last stay?
no, she was mostly silent this time. She tried not to let it show, but I could tell she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes to cast a few lines, but this time, I don't know. Further up the coast, she tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on that door screech like a cat in heat.
It's a peninsula. She might be.
You'll never find her, you know. She knows the coast like the back of her hand. You only just arrived.
I wouldn't worry
Найдем
about
мы её,
that,
ёпта.
man. We are persistent.
Yes, it's going to be too much work for you to find her. Better for you to stay here, get a nice cozy fire going in the heater.
The felled electric mural. You feel like you should go look at it again. Step closer this time.
What more do you want to know? Yes, one thing, officer. If you do find her, please go easy on her. She's a good girl. Whatever she's gotten her.
Да. Мы будем ее судить по ее делам. Хорошая она там, посмотрим. Посмотрим. Хорошая, блядь. Это нам решать, хорошая она или нет. А не тебе. Так. Ну и... Окей. Хорошо. Не туда я пошел, дурачок. Погнали.
The light vanishes inside the concrete slit. The structure goes deep under the earth. There's no echo and no answer. Maybe it's just a storm drain for the sewer.
No idea. Could be connected to one of the buildings around here. We might find her down somewhere. There's an old storm drain system beneath Martinez that's mostly collapsed. Revachel's sewage system has been built and rebuilt 4 or 5 times now. In conclusion, she could be under any building. I hope not.
A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. There's a bitter, caustic taste on the tip of your tongue as you look at.
Ясно. Да. С пирса, с острова, с пирса. Погнали на пирс. Ну, хотя это не пирс, да? Получается. А нет, стоп. Что за мысль? Мысль была, но ушла, так сказать. Так. Опять что-то вертится, но поймать мы не можем. Ладно. Беги же, ёбаный корова, бля.
You see, a once bright mural, a slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now, only above the mural, a collapsed roof, broken windows set in walls that are cracking and will soon also fall, and the coastal breeze rustling and sighing in the remains of the edifice. Feld Electrical. How ironic. All these Feld Electrical, you only know them as a small company that makes ink cartridges. Looks like there's something in the wind. Sometimes the only way to go forward is to fail first. Indeed, somehow you knew it was here. An urban ruin gutted by looters that once used to consume money and dispense warmth and light.
In there? She could. Or she could be in the identical room over there. Or in that boat shack. In that church tower, maybe.
Why single out this one building?
Ух ты. Слушать ветер. Нашу пустую ловушку.
Even though you're sure you succeeded, all is quiet. There is no cold hand brushing against your forehead, no rustle in the reeds. The wind has died down. The ruin in front of you is silent as a tomb. Trying to talk to the wind, the city, whatever you thought would happen, did not. And now is trying to talk to the city something you've done before? Is it in your secret repertoire? A trick for when you're out of ideas?
How do we? I was really hoping she'd be in the village. She's probably north of the village, and this place is a peninsula. We already scanned most of the outdoor areas on our wild cryptid hunt, so we have an understanding of the geography, at least. And then there's the church. We've already searched that and can rule it out. I know it doesn't feel like progress, but exclusion is a step too. Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way, sector by sector. Go over the whole peninsula, ask the locals, enter the places where we can enter first, like we did in the village. Then, if we're desperate, we can look where we can't enter. Bunkers, storm drainage, this place. I'm sure it won't come to that.
Walk the coast, the old boardwalk, the reeds. You can always come back here and talk to the wind again. Look where it already got you. An adventure awaits. An adventure on the windswept urban coast. Suddenly, there's a sigh, carried on the molecules around you, moving, flowing from high pressure to low pressure, like that of a woman emptying her lungs. She wraps the collapsing stone box in front of you in her breath, flowing through it. In through the collapsed roof, flowing down a concrete staircase to the basement, sweeping away footprints in the dust on the stairs, and then the beach below.
She's down there.
Okay. Why? Right. How do we get in there? The doors were on the collapsed side of this building. They're gone, basically.
Finally, my time to shine.
Perhaps you can climb them. We are not climbing anything. I'm 43 years old, and I plan to live to see 70.
There has to be a way to use brute force. Climbing sounds unsafe. Brute force is safe. Look around and find something to break if the ladder fails.
Хорошо. Давайте поговорим.
Good evening.
Так.
How to climb that ladder, you see? I do know that Lomantangs used sticks to climb battlements. There's even a special technique for that. No, I'm just speculating theoretically here. Of course, there's also the method ancient Ilmarans used to get into the huts of their enemies. If I'm not mistaken, then it involved months of following a very rigid exercise regimen. No, in this case, I suggest looking into the Zeolite Invisibles class. The word refers to their remarkable ability to traverse any environment in the most efficient way possible. There's this excellent investigative piece of journalism by... Yes, I have. There was this one time where I...
Mark my words, all of this somehow ties into the history of Occidental financial markets.
Alternative? I don't even have a mainstream way in, I'm afraid, although... There's a sewage pipe there. Maybe that does something? Sorry, I can't...
Pipes can be broken with force.
No, I'm afraid I can't help you with this one, officer. It's just a regular day off for me and Mikhail here.
So you haven't seen anyone around?
No, I'm sorry. As I said, this is just a day off. We just arrived anyway.
He's telling the truth. He hasn't seen...
Давайте лестницу.
A rusty ladder leads to the rooftop. Some of the rungs are missing.
Yeah, that doesn't look good at all.
The distances between the remaining rungs are rather wide. You'd have to use the mounting brackets. However, they seem corroded and the peeling rust is razor sharp. In addition, the first rung is going to be tough to reach. It's what, 3 meters above the ground? And you're, not to mention that the roof is collapsing and the wind gets pretty brutal up there. Dismounting, what if you were to do something more? What if you were to reconceptualize climbing the ladder?
Teleportation is not a thing.
Even if it isn't, no one told you.
This really has nothing to do with adventure. We are dealing with... Oh yes, it could hurt. A lot.
He is restraining himself from using a parental tone with you right now.
Телепортироваться на крышу. Поехали.
All you need to do
Нифига себе, я
is
красавчик.
close your eyes and concentrate. Darkness enfolds you. You can feel the distance between the bench and the first rung of the ladder. All you need to is... Zoot, zap, pow, crinkle. It's like magic. You feel yourself
Oh my god, I can't believe it.
Bam! You find yourself on the roof, having mastered the art of physical displacement.
I just saw you climb the ladder. You just climbed it like a regular person.
No, not like a regular person. The wind at the top of the building starts howling loudly, blowing away the lieutenant's voice.
Never mind. Find a way to let me in when you get inside. Don't go adventuring with a backup, especially if we think...
Ну, ништячок, ништячок, ништячок. Ты, может, быстрее это будешь делать, ёбаный, блядь. Да, нахуй, тоже быстро. Вот какая-то хуйня лежит. И опять загрузка. То есть мелепиздрическая хуета загрузилась. Очень долго грузилась причем. Сейчас опять какая-то мелепиздрическая хуета будет полминуты грузиться. Ёб твою мать. Да вы что? О, внушение, интеризоларный пиджак. Ладно, ну у меня, в принципе, уже внушение, там одна штука была. Поэтому... Так, давайте вниз спустимся. Что тут у нас? Оу.
Two rusty metal plates that slide apart form a crude door. It's been here under the boardwalk for a while.
What do you mean, who's there? It's me, Kim. Stop playing around. Help me get this door open.
The doors seem to be on rails, but they've gotten jammed. You grab a side and put some strength into prying it open. With the help of your partner, the two metal...
I hope no one dangerous heard that. After you climbed up to the roof, you mean? There's a maintenance entrance under the boardwalk. It's next to a drain pipe, possibly a storm drain. It was easy to miss before. At least now we have an exit, so let's get going. It's time to investigate these passages.
Хорошо. Ну-ка. Под сваями. Нет. Окей. Шапка революционера. +1 к социал-экономическому мазовизму. Да. И что это было?
Could this have been the killer's hideout? And this narrow window, the point of origin of the shot that killed the mercenary? In the darkness, you can barely make out the falling snow. It settles, making the night still quieter.
It's a great place to hide, certainly. But there hasn't been anyone here in ages. Indeed, no one could get a clear view. Well, at least we've been thorough. I like thorough.
The lieutenant's voice betrays a slight disappointment, which he glosses over by reasserting control. A mustachioed and mutton-chopped man, amateurishly depicted, gazes at you with sad eyes. A plaque reads, K. Mazov. There is a spiderweb in the lower left. Years' worth of dust is shaken off. The full head of hair, matched by an ample moustache and sideburns, look a bit silly.
Some radical or radicals were hiding out here. They left a long time ago. Half a century? This was probably part of the network of defense posts the communards built against. I think the purpose of this bunker was to produce propaganda. It would have had radio equipment back then, but that's all been looted. We have found a lot of those lately. I guess what most people think of as history tends to linger in rundown neighborhoods. Martinez being what it is, no one has gone through the trouble of cleaning out the old bunkers.
Good hiding place for someone who's up to no good.
I won't stand in your way, but only after we're through with this case. Millions of depictions of Mazov have been produced. They're not all connected. Besides, that looked like some student. The youths always go for this kind of stuff. You mean like Ruby? No, I think we've stumbled on a piece of history.
A mustachioed.
Так, мы на нужном направлении, так сказать. Туннель обрушен, придется найти другой путь.
There it is again, like a swarm of hornets buzzing under your scalp. A strange tingling you can almost...
No, what do you mean? I don't feel it, but we should still be careful. There were footprints back there, and I'm pretty sure they were fresh. No, but you are the sensitive one.
It's not a quib. The situation is dangerous.
Looks like our suspect. If she's in here, we need to plan our next step carefully. Once we detain a credible suspect, who knows what the Union and the Wild Pines will do? We'll set in motion events
You will upset the balance of power in Martinez. That this part of town is a fine clockwork puzzle. Disturb its peace, and it will start breaking down uncontrollably. Keep calm. Go over the whole situation in detail.
I leave that to your judgment. You already know what I think about cross-pollinating information like this. It's dangerous, but...
He just can't be sure. Maybe it will yield something useful.
You think we should finish running it now? Maybe you're right. It might not be as useful later.
It's a minor point. Don't worry too much about this. There are bigger fish.
We absolutely cannot skip that appointment. Consider that 100% confirmed. I fear you'll need your gun for this.
His hand rests on his holster. It's not enough. You need a gun in your hand too. Your gun.
Okay, why not? Whatever goes down might also affect her. The Union is watching her closely now.
Not closely enough, you suspect. But still, good idea to visit her once more.
Well, we are not responsible for what we can't predict, are we? I don't think the entire city will be razed to the ground.
If you can't predict it, there's nothing you could have done.
I think I see a cavern. Maybe more cellars? I think we've been careful enough. We still have the element of surprise.
I wouldn't be so sure. You haven't exactly been sneaking.
Or maybe not. Either way, once we go deeper, there will be no turning back.
Окей, я понял. Возвращаемся назад. Хорошо. Нам нужно доделать. Это, видимо, финал. Скорее всего. Мы, видимо, подобрались вплотную к финалу, ребята. В кои-то веки. Что ж, давайте к колосе придем сначала. Потому что мусорка с 10 часов только будет. Вот. Ну, типа наш пистолет, короче. Авторитет минус эмпатия внутренней империи. А, еще выстрел с пирса. Ну ладно, погнали. Еще дел много на самом деле.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio mic.
Precinct 57? How? Yes. I got the mercenary's name and a few biographical details. Are you ready?
The lieutenant leans in to listen, notebook in hand.
Готов, детка.
That suit of armor was issued to an Oranese citizen named Elis Tortenaer. That's Elysium. He was found as a newborn in a leaf compactor near an abandoned farm. He spent 4 months in the neonatal unit, survived apparently, and was assigned to a foster. This is what the ICP knows about him. He was raised by foster parents, entered the East Brand Military Academy in Vredefort at 17, then the armor followed him to Semenine, or at least I assume it did. And that's it. There are no records of his employment in Crenel, or any of its other incarnations, or him even entering Revachol. It's a garden tool used to press leaves into these cubes. It's a detail the hospital had, the only detail in these files. So I thought it would be good for you.
It is. Thank you, Alice.
None, officer. Sorry.
Even that is a small miracle. These organizations usually double-check their inventory. Thank you, Alice.
No problem, Lieutenant.
A compliment from Lieutenant Kitsuragi. Not bad.
The name. This is very good. Elise Cortenard.
I'm glad the inquiry was helpful to your investigation, officer. Did you have any other questions? 57.
In the cabin.
Так. Сигареты, все элементы брони, это еще рано. Найдите орудие убийства. Долорес Дэй фигурки. Разбогатейте. Где мне фигурки Долорес Дэй, блядь, найти? Так, давайте еще этот... Так. Так, давайте, нам нужна сила. Нам нужна сила. Стика. Проверки будем проходить. Джойс Мессия. Сила воли. Штанга, головомер, храбрости. Мусорный бак, Джойс Мессия. Лосье, трепет, немыслимо. Андре, логика немыслима. Так. Лен, рыбачка, внушение. Ну, типа, мы можем, конечно, попробовать взломать и машину эту. Если что, у нас есть там еще одно очко? Да, у нас есть одно очко навыков. Так, что если с ней поговорить? Ну, понятно, погнали отсюда. Все, это отработанный материал. Давайте попробуем.
The barbell waits patiently on the floor, like a dog for its master.
Ну, опять проебался. Не сработало. Заебись. Хорошо.
You manage to hoist it off the ground, but the barbell feels wobbly and dangerous. Your hands slip with
Weightlifting was never my favorite either.
Мне тоже никогда не нравилась тяжелая атлетика.
At the station gym, I mean. I prefer running. It clears your head.
Так, хорошо. Давайте. Инструменты. Погнали. Окей. Нужно убить время, купите книгу, когда читаешь, время летит. Так. Давайте попробуем взломать вот эту хуйню. Не получится, наверное, но тем не менее.
This orange machine is dead.
Так.
This orange machine is dead still.
3%.
It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melted. The ice
Все равно
squeaks
пробуем.
beneath the
1-1
pry bar.
неудача. Это вообще
You
неудача
think you've got the
100%.
bar jammed in there pretty. You see,
Yeah, well, that's a good... I have no idea.
sooner or later, you will stumble.
Хорошо, давайте дальше. Грубая сила. Апатия, внутренняя империя, авторитет, повышение трепет. Давайте, грубая сила. Давайте еще
This
раз.
orange machine is dead
И все
still.
равно
It
3%.
has a hand crank. The ice squeaks beneath the
Естественно.
pry bar. You see,
Yeah, well, I have no...
sooner or later.
Хорошо. Да. Только я до сих пор не нашел эту... Как это сказать? Монтировку топовую не нашел. А уже, судя по всему, конец игры уже не за горами. Скорее всего. Погнали.
The barbell waits patiently
Давай.
on the floor, like a
Наконец-то.
dog for its master.
Наконец-то. Так. Опачки. О. Прикиньте.
Conjuring up an inhuman amount of strength, you
Легендарно.
raise the
Запасом
barbell
даже.
up in the air. Your biceps tremble, but you're a savage. This is a children's game. A warm wave of accomplishment washes over your head as you drop the barbells to the floor. For a moment, it feels like you're strong enough to succeed at anything you ever set your mind to.
Good technique.
Нормально. Ну, это того не стоило на самом деле.
Oh, sorry, officer. What do you want? René wasn't really what you'd call a botanist, officer. And believe me, he didn't like Insulindian.
Of course he didn't. Flowers are for pansies. Stop wasting time with them.
That's their old name, dating back to the time of kings and crests, and all that other stuff he loved so much. There were many reasons, but mostly it was the communals. They caught, I guess in the end, the Insulindian lilies were just another piece of the whole Insulinde. The royalists had to surrender to the Mazovian insurgents. It doesn't really matter anymore.
An old monument stands.
The Coppernado is back. What do you want?
Поговорим.
The Coppernado is back. What do you want? Yeah?
Ah, smallest church in Saint-Saëns, right?
Говорил же, что разъебу зал.
Cool. Now, what can I do for you?
Officer, what brings you up here in the rain? Oh.
Did you take the documents?
He's trying to throw her off with the bluntness of the question.
No, of course not. As I said, it would have been too risky for me to use those documents anyway. My employer gave...
She doesn't seem to be lying. She's genuinely spooked by their disappearance.
Thank you, but actually, now that I think about it, you mentioned seawater. I was worried I'd been too careless with the latch mechanism. The documents were probably just washed away.
Ты не смыла их, конечно. С Джойс, Мессия, охраняемая. Так. Головомер, карта на стене. Джойс, Андре, классе. Андре, логик. Джойс, Мессия. Так. Ну пойдемте обратно на побережье. Нам еще нужно установить две точки, откуда стреляли, короче. Ну, то есть два места, откуда могли стрелять, короче. Одно мы осмотрели. А за этот квест с лилиями мне ничего не дали, видите, опыта. Вот, потому что дед умер, и я квест не смог завершить. Короче, вот, давайте посмотрим. Вот. Облом. Очень долго тянулось с этим квестом главным. То есть поговорить нужно было с этими докерами, короче. А я очень долго дотянулся до тех пор, пока дед не умер. Таким образом у меня и этот квест, короче, был, ну, провален, по сути. Ну.
Yes?
С Джойс давайте поговорим. Я сейчас не знаю, где там у нее в диалоге.
I fear I've told you. Is there anything else I can help you with? Oh. A takeover. Taking it.
Green livery, changing into red, blot by blot, like a cancer of the blood. But
I've seen the Union's forces. They are better organized than these mercenaries. They also have the support of... It will take more than Connell to wipe them out. Wild Pines will need to send more and better equipped men. Make no mistake, ma'am. I am sure you have the money. The question is, how many years and how many lives are you willing to...
What do you suggest I do? Everything affects the decision-making process, Detective.
Officer? One day you will realize you can't simply go around saying these things about the citizens we are here to protect.
But it is not a bluff. I assumed so before, that you're part of his ploy even. Telling me this, to keep assuming would be wishful thinking at this point. What will I do?
Her arms fall to her sides. Her spine relaxes.
Did I ever tell you how they discovered this Isola? During our reality lowdown? Typically arrogant of me. Absent-minded as well. Inter-Islary travel has left holes.
We do for this, Lieutenant Jeffrey.
His arm rises for a second, as if he's about to put it on your shoulder. He doesn't. But
It may be the only break we've ever caught as a species. The nations who colonized this Isola called theirs Muindi, the world. It was all they knew, all they thought would be. That there would be something more was a gamble, akin to another world. Or the Pale was thought to be impregnable, perpetual. Irene la Navigateur, the Queen of Suren, sent 8 expeditions, one after the other, into the mass at the edge of the world.
each of those expeditions would have been led by an admiral. Sounds like a purge. Like she was purging her political rivals.
There was no precedent for such an undertaking. People thought she was punishing the admirals, or had gone mad, until after years of trial and error, and the development of a strict psychological...
Called Volta Doma, or
The 8th expedition returned sane and intact. They told of a new continent of matter. They told the Queen and her counselor, Dolores Day, that the Pale had begun to condense, day after day, hour after hour, minute after minute. Slowly raining down until it formed a vast ocean.
the air is cold and scented with petrichor.
The phenomenon has never again been encountered. For a time, the crew thought they were experiencing a hallucination. The mass but they could not. They were sane and conscious, as islands began to appear on the horizon. There are 78,000 uninhabited islands.
You've thought it a million times.
A total shift in human comprehension of reality. On the second day, a great skua was shot down above the flagship Lysergique. The bird was preserved and brought back, along with pollen. 4 years later, the Queen's Counsellor was proclaimed Her Innocence Dolores Day, the elected world spirit. The age of humanism, internationalism, and parliamentary rule followed. We were high. On Caillou, the Pebble, the largest of the fertile, uninhabited islands of the northeast Insulindian archipelago. 4 centuries and 2 revolutions later, the first living, autonomous organism. Proof of reality. It's the symbol of Insulinde, detective. The coat of arms of the suzerain and the wings on the crest of the... In your defense, it is a nasty creature who plucks food from the throats of lesser birds. Yet much like Revachol, it is also magnificent and rare. Imagine the suzerain. The nations of Mundi proceeded to discover 5 more Isolae. Or they discovered us, but these others weren't uninhabited. We had to kill people there. Wipe out indigenous populations, gunboat economies. Or they came to do the same for us, or had done to each other. But here, there was no one but the skua, the Liliat Sea, and the Blood Beach, and the River Esperance. It was the new world. The Mondials used it to amass the greatest concentration of wealth mankind has ever seen. Revolution, poverty, and the mercurial rise of capitalism. It is. Soon it will be spring and...
The gangs will run wild, jacking motor carriages, ferrying amphetamines through Coal City. Spring is tough in Revachol.
I will surrender Terminal B to the Union.
She puts her hand in the rain. She's silent.
We will see.
Ma'am, this may well unravel property law this side of the river. If that occurs, we may never see the end of this kind of confrontation. The next time there will be 2 strikes, then 4, then 100.
What happens will happen. The age of capital has only begun. I will talk to my employers in person. We will amputate and cauterize Martinez, if you handle the situation on the ground. Yes, Mr. Clare has a 2-month head start. I can't let it grow any bigger. And I've exhausted all my options from here.
There are no employers. She's a member of the board, probably a partner.
You are the citizens' militia. There are no superiors.
That's right, Detective. And next time, you should confer with them before you go setting events in motion.
Despite his words, he's not really sure whether to be annoyed with you. Events are already in motion. Whether your actions accelerated or momentarily retarded their progress, even the lieutenant cannot really say.
I have not deceived you. I showed you who I was. Rejoice Layton. Keep the peace, and I will keep my end of the bargain.
How far along is Cronell's investigation?
A confrontation is imminent. They have followed in your footstep. As your investigation reaches a climax, so does theirs. They are your shadow. Arm yourselves. Armor yourselves. Protect their targets. Violence may be unavoidable, but we can limit the casualties. Soon. I do not know precisely. They have cut off all communication, you see. One last thing, Lieutenant Dubois. I've given the matter much thought and come to this conclusion. You're not an amnesiac. You're insane. I know, because I too am insane. I just hide my illness better. And I'm rich. The same strict psychological regimen the 8th Admiral developed when he crossed the Pale and discovered this Isola, the Volta do Mar. It's used by inter-Easlary travelers and other troubled souls.
You could use a little of it yourself.
I'm overexposed, baby. My travels take me through the Pale dozens of times a year. I've got the longing. and I've got it bad.
She would die to return to it. The pale, the past, anything one can return to.
No, detective. No one's as insane as you.
Don't worry, madame. I am very sane.
Чай адская тварь запретных болот. Давай так.
Watch out for yourselves. They will strike soon.
Берегите себя, детектив, не скоро ударит.
The lieutenant watches her boat grow smaller on the bay. Its white sails. You wonder what Everard has to say about this. Slowly, the sails turn grey-blue as more oxygen gets between you.
Да уж, да уж. Да уж, события принимают интересный оборот. Трепет, сумрак, энциклопедия. Координация. Давайте в координацию, наверное, в клюв. Хотя, стоп. Давайте лучше шмотками это все сделаем. Координация. А, шмотками нельзя. Мне остается только штаны. Скорость реакции. А тут что? Типа грубая сила. И куртку. О. Во, вот так. Координация, эмпатия. Да, так. Что еще? Куртка есть, шляпа. Так, куртка есть, шляпа. На галстук, координация. Очки, галстук, короче. Так. Шляпа. Энциклопедия. Давайте посмотрим, что шляпа даст нам. Есть у нас вообще хоть что-нибудь более-менее нормальная логика. Логика. Нарушение. Скорость реакции. Кажется, нет. Да. Ну, типа, я могу в энциклопедию добавить. Ну-ка. Просто есть там одна проверка в зеркале. Интересно было бы ее пройти на самом деле. Вот.
An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see the reflection of your face in it, such as it is. A regular, clean-shaven police officer.
Источник гримасы. Мне хреново за энциклопедия, давайте.
An old mirror hangs on the wall.
92%.
You see the reflection of your face. It belongs in the new, the third decade of the current century. Enough time had passed from the failure of the revolution that, for a fleeting moment, free market economy seemed like the ultimate, uncontested. Things were good. It was smooth sailing. People made gold and champagne-tinted interiors and facades to suit the times, calling this the forget about ostentatious orchestrations. If it doesn't rhyme out of the dazzling swirl of disco music in an open air boîte de nuit somewhere in Revachol West, Guillaume's blonde mane appeared on the screen. He sang some bullshit. Then he made the expression. You have some understanding of the near history of disco, plus the trivia you've picked up along the way. Episodic memory, however, remains in the dark. Not really. OO must have just stirred your mind. They're more like a disco rock band anyway. There is a vast ocean of time between right now and the expression. Looking good on you, or anyone. 2 decades, if the calendar is to be trusted. Humanity has run aground in that time. It's a different world now. The expression is a relic. The click is used to spur on a horse. It also features heavily in Guillaume Le Million's. Sometimes you like to add finger pistols to the mix, because unlike Guillaume Le Million, you are a police officer. Everyone loved it. Maybe you thought some of the stardust would rub off on you. Maybe it did. Either way, it's all gone now. Only the grimace remains. It doesn't have to be. You can swoon over Guillaume and his champagne-corked smile whenever you want to. Maybe some of the stardust will return. An old mirror.
Получается, просто мы открыли мысли и все. Ну ладно, хуй с ней. ты ископаемая. Так. 20:38. Осталось час 40... Час 22 до того, как я пистолет найду. Что там на карте-то? Лильен рыбачка. Ройс Месье, она уже уплыла. Мусорный бак. Уплыла Андре. Классия аранская. Так. Андре. Немыслимо. Ну, к Андре только сходить. Лильен рыбачка и все. Больше никого не осталось. Господи, как видишь, долгие загрузки здесь. Пиздец. А, я понял, что это. Все, забили на эту тему. Забили. О, нашло. Эмпатия. Так, ну давайте, эмпатия. Должна быть где-то. Так. О, музыка пошла. Все, единственное, что у меня есть на эмпатию. 17%. Пиздец. Супер низко. Если не появляется развалась женщина, нет.
Just no?
It's pretty desolate here. I only hear the dogs bark.
Teenagers skulking around. Gang members looking for a hole in the Union's defenses. Maybe Ruby too. But she wouldn't be able to tell from it.
Exactly. It's our chance to turn the grim desolation into an overwhelmingly fun dance party.
The device feels light. An angular Omicron logo adorns the yellow plastic cover. Underneath you see a reel of tape rolling. The device back on the floor.
Ну и хуй с ним. Так. Короче, тут с ними больше ничего нельзя сделать. Все, уходим. Тупо уходим.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot.
From here to the whirling, I can't see how. The church is in the way.
Just dead and dying locusts, and the slow swaying of poor things. Is there something here that would indicate a sniper used this place as a nest for taking the shot? Just some urban detritus, a bottle, and in the distance you can hear the...
I don't see it, Lieutenant W. Freitor. I don't see a person take a shot here and hit something there, in the whirling in rags. It's not possible to climb that ladder, and even if it were, why?
It does look extremely rickety, and wouldn't help much either.
To warm his hands before pulling the trigger? Perhaps, but anyone could have made this. The coast is Truthfully, this seems like a very poor choice to take a 1.2 kilometer rifle shot from. Visibility is awful. There's water vapor everywhere. I think we can rule out biddable prime, was it? Those? A smoking assailant who favors Tiumutiri to Astra or Joanne? Cigarette butts are everywhere.
Tiumutiri was a Revacholian colony on Ilmaran. The Suzerainties population was mostly Ilmaran Areopagites, up to 97%. The region was known for its tobacco export, hence the name. Oh, you do? The butts you saw had a silhouette of a boy wearing a coffeer hat, a tobacco picker. This boy is the Tiumutiri brand logo. Contemporary Revacholians prefer Juan, a local blend from the southern islands, or Astra, a legendary cigarette from Grad. Tiumutiri is favored by older men who live there, 1.2 kilometers over the cold water of the bay, blue from the distance and the air. It's glowing in the dark night. The lights are on. Glazia must be in there. Looks like she kept her promise not to go out at night anymore.
Да, ну ладно. А, это типа маяк, да? Получается. Там что-то есть, кстати. Вон какой-то берег или что это там, не знаю. Айсберг, какая-то хуйня, короче. Проверьте территорию выстрела с острова. Когда будете готовы, вводите зал под названием под завалом здания Фельд. Как только вы это сделаете, незаконченные дела с Союзом и криптозоологами могут завершиться. Криптозоологами мы вроде как все сделали. Да. Профсоюз. Сигареты покурить, да похуй на эту хуйню. Это пока что мы не можем найти. Долорес Дэй, я не знаю, что делать тут. Орудие убийства тоже не знаю. Рабочее оружие, блять. Разбогатеть. Тут опять время надо тянуть. Короче, вот, мусорка. Мы уйдем в мусорку, короче. Вроде на побережье. Так. С острова. Короче, мусорка мне нужна. Ванная. Так, осталось сейчас 14. Давайте пакета вообще уберем нахер. Че я бегаю как бич. Уже тем более мусора этого нет, уже давно-давно. Вот, так. Давайте вот сюда дойдем.
A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. There's a bitter caustic.
Давай.
You dial the number again, as you've done many times. You remember it well now. Calling, and calling for who knows how long. But no one answers. You need to insert more.
И он разбитый, окажется, наверное. О.
The cold metal is hard and hurts your knuckles. You look at them. A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. There's a bitter...
А, все. Ладно. Так, хорошо. Надо как-то скипнуть, короче, время.
A cockatoo. This book talks about the. You're right. Ouch. Not great. Performing. Yeah, perhaps. In the word, it must be glorious to behold. Dark pink and snow white. Where to even begin? Pet owners also. It is not recommended to get a cockatoo if you're not able to cook them. You're right. Ouch. Not great. Performing. Yes. Despite its banging name. The Bang Bang Cockatoo, perhaps the most in the word, it must be glorious to behold. Dark pink and snow white. This is a yellow-tailed black cockatoo. Its specific name, Psittacus. You're right. Ouch. Not great. Performing. Perhaps in the words of it must be glorious to behold.
Промотал время. Так, где-то здесь должно быть. Баба должна нас ждать где-то здесь. Пока не увидите пирс вот тут. Так. Вот он, нет? Нет. Ну, рыбный рынок здесь. Вот он. И... Где эта баба? Че за говно? Эти уже свалили. Челики. Блядь, да где же эта баба, ёбаная, блядь, бабка? Падла, блядь. Не могу понять. Ну... Нихуя не понимаю. Тут может это будет. Я хуй его знает, чуваки. Что тут делать? Ну, с 22 уже, правильно? Ну, в 22. Возле старого рыбного рынка. Учите обратно сторону бюджет. Ну вот, да, вот. Ну, не понял. Ну. Вы шутите, что ли, блядь? Игра. Ты чё, блядь, ебанутая? 22:00, вот, по времени. Ну. Где пистолет? Блядь, это пиздец какой-то. Может быть, нужно зайти и выйти? Давайте перезагрузим локацию. А что еще остается? Это ж дебильная игра конченая, блядь. Может, так сработает, хз. Но очевидно, что вот он, этот рынок ебучий. Где эта бабка? А, вот она, смотрите. Ебать. Ну да, нужно было перезагрузить. Видите? Ёб твою мать.
Show me your hands. This is the pigs. Show me your hands. Right!
Scavenged, battery-powered police lights protrude from her back. The flickering light show reveals her hand is trembling from some sort of neurodegenerative disease.
Madame, please drop the firearm immediately.
You shouldn't be here. Something's very wrong with her. She's completely out of control.
This is bad. Getting your weapon back is the priority. We can't have an unhinged civilian running around with a gun.
Comply, or I will light you the fuck up. Failure to comply. Suspect is displaying aggression. Officer!
Her eyes bulge with terror.
I am the police. Don't move. Don't move. Hands on your head. Suspect is armed and dangerous. Suspect is on the loose. Suspect at large. Officer, admit that one extra leg with a baton or extra knee strike above was what was it?
Be careful, detective. Don't do anything that might set...
The situation looks bad. You'll have to go for the gun sooner or later.
Бля,
Perhaps you can learn crucial facts before you do.
Рано или поздно придется отобрать у меня пистолет. Может быть, перед этим удастся выяснить что-то важное. Рано или... Ёб твою мать, ебать. Вот это супер концептуально, я бы сказал. Рано или поздно придется отобрать у нее пистолет.
As she waves her hands, you notice familiar-looking ampoules and packets sticking out of the mountain of police gear on her back. Medicine or drugs?
Confiscated contraband. Restricted access. 2 kilos missing. Eyewitness report compromised.
I don't think she's on drugs. Being off drugs might actually be the problem here.
Back up! Back up! Back up! Status unconfirmed!
No. Oh, no. No. I thought Mr. Moran. Gareth.
Aggravated assault! Man down! Officers in...
There's a scenario unfolding in her head right now. It has...
What's the situation, officer?
Law enforcement compromised! Impersonating a police officer!
Does she not believe you two are actually police officers?
Now is not the time.
License and registration! License and registration! Come in, dispatch! Sector! Sector! Azima!
Жесткая сцена.
It's not a code. Just, she's losing it. One twitch and there will be blood.
Officer in need of assistance! Suspect at large! Get him!
Ma'am, please. We want to help you, but you need to lower that weapon. You're making it worse, officer.
Disturbance
Да, блядь, завалите и все, психопатка, блядь.
Sector, take the shot! Big red key! Big red key!
Big red key? That's code for the battering ram. Cop talk. You know this. She's
Блядь,
frantic,
пососал, блядь.
confused,
Сколько?
teetering under all that gear. There's an opening if you just move fast enough. If not, the lieutenant's got her in his sights. Host almighty, don't count on that. You saw the Binoclad can't shoot for shit.
Да, это точно, да. Да, это очкарик хуёвый стрелок, это да.
Suicide like hope. Split-second decision. Eat lead, scumbag.
In your peripheral vision, the lieutenant releases the half-squeezed trigger.
God, I almost blew her head off.
What is this? This isn't police issue. Police weapons have bullets. This police weapons have bullets. What is this? Why did you sell me this?
Grab the gun, right now. This might be your only chance.
No one ever cares anymore.
This limbed and headed machine of pain and undignified suffering is grinding to a halt. Tired.
Oh, yeah. We need to figure out what to do with her now.
Наконец-то.
Nobody's ever around. Nobody ever comes to visit me.
She's in a stupor. I've seen this before. God knows for how long. Could be days when they get like this. Honestly, I don't know. Dementia, probably. Dementia and Channel 8 and loneliness. Could be. Her hands were trembling and she did seem uncoordinated. But what are we gonna do with her? I don't think she actually... You're right, of course. This could have been very bad. I don't think there's any need for that. In her current state, and we could let Titus know. This is a perfect problem for the local peacekeepers to handle. They might even know her family. Okay, that settles it. I'll contact my station after we wrap it up for the day. They can contact the sanitarium, but I think we're done here for now. Let's head up.
Please, leave the radio on.
Reflex to what? Being left alone? She stands motionless, just a heap of clothes and flashes. The woman stands slumped. She looks catatonic. Is one of those things a police cap? There were narcotics in there too. You're thinking of taking them. She doesn't even flinch as you reach out and disentangle the familiar-looking loot.
Oh, is that yours? It's your hat.
You take the vial of Pyrrolidon and the bottle of speed as evidence, obviously. She didn't consume them. She didn't look high. She confiscated them.
You're taking those, are you?
Listen to him, for once.
Thank you. I'm doing this to help you. We need to focus on the case.
He's grateful you did this. The old woman doesn't react.
Ну-ка, что там за фуражка такая? Давайте глянем. Инструменты. О, пистолет, отлично. Трехствольный капсульный револьвер. Хорошо. Ништяк. С пистолетом будем ходить, лол. Так. Ну-ка, кепка, что она дает? Авторитет. Тут энциклопедия. О, нормас. Да, непонятно, что как она там очутилась в мусорке.
Holding the gun feels natural and satisfying. It's like an extension of your arm, the polished wooden handle almost fusing into your... It reminds you of the day you first held it, with fear and respect, hoping you don't have to use it in vain. The sun was out in Jamrock. It was so long ago. Sheathe your sidearm, officer. A serious law official, cop by the book, should know.
Ладно. Окей. Так, давайте дальше поглядим, что там у нас. Ищите Руби на побережье. Так, разбогатеть, найдите орудие убийства. Хранитель. Давайте спать. Уже поздно. Вот. Уже поздно.
It's getting cold, this late in the night. Time to call it a day.
Good night, officer. We'll meet in front of...
Да. Выходим обратно. Так, давайте внушение оденем. Да. Давайте с этой мадам поговорим.
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it.
42%.
The wind is turning southeast. What's on your mind, officer?
Alcohol. That's exactly what she needs. Now make her see that.
Alcohol? Connect? I'm not sure I'm following you. That's a good impression. You really cracked me.
She doesn't even understand. You asked her out. Perhaps you're too sober to pull it off right now. Try again later.
Понятно, я завалил проверочку. Свалил. Идем спать.
It's getting cold. This... The bed is comforting. The place feels almost like home now. Quiet and dignified around you. A new life by the seaside.
It's easier this time. Drifting off, your head has found a comfortable indent in the pillow. Your legs and your torso feel like lead weights sinking to the bottom of the sea.
There are no days here.
For now, a little while, when the pictograms and the hieroglyphs of the world return, they seem silent.
Ready, but something is coming.
Давайте поглядим, что там прокачать-то должно. Эмпатия, сила воли, авторитет, грубая сила, блин. Концептуализация, драма, риторика, логика, координация. Давайте координацию прокачаем. Может быть, придется стрелять. Кто его знает. Во всяком случае, не помешает нам это.
Yes?
Все, уходим. Да, давайте. Класс Yes. Вроде как даже нету такого этого. Так, а тут как здесь вообще быстрое передвижение есть? Я видел, что здесь типа есть быстрое перемещение какое-то. Ну ладно. Сейчас вроде нет дождя и нет этого снега. Поэтому с классе можно поговорить.
Again?
Yes? What is it? That was pretty good, Harry. Wasn't it, Jean?
Whoa, how does she know your name? She probably heard it from somewhere.
That was, yeah, that was absolute shit, if you want my opinion. Drunken shit. Haven't wanted anything to end this horrible, truly horrible. I beg of you, don't ever subject anyone to—
Jean, it's not right. Don't make it worse, and I really liked it.
She actually did.
Yes, I called you by your name. What about it? Good. Everybody knows your name. Please go finish your investigation, so everyone can...
Еще немножечко контента разговорного. Музыка классная. Она такая, типа, ну, там ничего такого нету. Монотонная. Ну, прикольно.
Hello,
Трепет. Так, у нас трепет нужен, да? Так, трепет. Допустим.
Hello, officer. What brings you up here again?
Мало. Чё так мало? Трепет +1, трепет +1. Трепет +1, да, 3, почему так мало, 17%?
Hello, officer. What brings...
Nothing happens. There is a mass of droplets above the planetary. The sky is low and cold. You hear the distant murmur of...
Silence, officer. Wouldn't have thought you the silent type.
Блять.
What were we...
Ну ладно. Что нам еще остается? 3 или 4 раза я уже пробовал эту проверку сделать, ничего не получилось, к сожалению. Эти загрузки заебали, это просто пиздец. У меня 2 патрона всего лишь. Пипец.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help. Sure. Let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling?
another time.
Короче, у меня остались 2 бабы. Короче, вот эти, я с ними не могу проверки никак пройти. Все как в реальной жизни.
Either sea's gonna calm down.
Все, идем за преступником. Точнее, за Руби, за этой. Ну, она, может быть, есть преступник. В общем, подозреваемая. Давайте. Давайте, да. Все, наконец-то у меня все при мне. Так, давайте-ка. Инструмент. А, сюда пистоль. Не, давайте наоборот. О, так. Сохраняемся.
Something touched your entire body was paralyzed. Aggressive white noise filled your smell. A strange pain like you've never felt before. Through the center, you hear a woman's voice. It's like 1,000 radio stations are being blasted into your head all at once. But her words are the only ones you can make out.
I know you're feeling pretty uncomfortable right now. Don't move too much or fight it. That'll just make it worse. Can't say it's a pleasure, officer. I was really hoping not to meet you.
As she says the word, officer, you feel a spark in the agony. It sounds like the entire radio frequency. So, that's the point. You can't shield yourself from this. It's don't focus on it. Focus on doing your job. Tell her she's on her knees.
Really now? Check this out.
You're overwhelmed with a new surge of violent static. It feels like a blood vessel exploded in your brain.
I'm using a pale latitude compressor. You and your partner have been caught.
The explosion of static you're hearing is the ULAN frequency, blasted from that pale emitter at any destination.
Saw my equations? You've been sniffing through my lorry, right? Thanks. I am a good. A pale latitude compressor is used to sort of make the pale more manageable. With a lot of these, signals are relayed across a series of repeater stations fixed to buoys. Not a fun job manning those stations. All alone out there in the pale, people lose their minds in just a few years.
So, what we are experiencing is concentration of radio waves.
Precisely. This is an industrial strength barometer. It's meant for forcing dimensions on some. At the upper limit is the large prime number generator station. It's used specifically for pale latitude compression. That's why you may be named numbers. But you might also...
She's been holed up in here for a while. No one to talk to. Keep her to her. And you just might get an opportunity to break loose.
I built it myself.
And she's proud of it too. As she ought to.
That's illegal. I'm guessing it's patented, but we are beyond that.
Oh yeah. Way beyond. Yeah, I stuck my head in there before leaving it undue. It seemed like the ethical thing to do. Can't say that I enjoyed it. The field was eager, but I can imagine what you're going through. No, once I shut down the compressor, the boom went. It may take a few minutes for you to study it. It's a bit like waking... Yeah, let's not talk about that shit. You were hunting me and fell into my trap instead.
So she thinks of you as hunters, not cops, and of herself merely as prey.
If you've got something really important to say, you can do it through the white noise. God damn it. Fine. If you really want to talk, I can dial it down. I've also got a gun, by the way.
The gun she's carrying is a two-down front loader. Not well. It doesn't feel magnetic, but she can form sentences now. Thinking doesn't seem to just keep her talking. There's only 3 meters between you and the machine. If you keep focused, be careful when you make your move. That'll be it. Questions. Why it?
I heard you in the passages, and I've been preparing for quite a while. So you found my shack, huh? Not surprised.
Her tone is bitter. She thinks she's been betrayed.
That's one knife I didn't want to find on my back.
As opposed to the other knives she's finding there. Hardly for one.
This could have turned out pretty bad for me if you hadn't walked right into 25 bands of ultimates.
That's her admitting the bullet was an emergency.
I didn't do it. I only helped stage the Legion. Though I doubt that may. Who ratted me out, by the way? Was it Titus? No. He wouldn't be with me first. Oh. Well, I guess I always knew she was a survivor, but she couldn't have known I was on the coast. How did you find me? Hi, boys. I don't even understand what you're trying to get at. Doesn't even matter. How could they be my boys when they're not even my friends? These guys like me, you know it.
Deep down, the spirit is creeping.
How the fuck did the rest of you? I did, didn't I? Now you come for me. Fuck that.
It may have to defend a little.
Like what? I already told you I didn't do it.
The strong monk. She still was not
Man, I was with the boys the whole night. I hope they at least bothered to impress that part. You mean the length of a toilet break? That wouldn't even have been enough time. Wow, now I'm curious. Please, explain. No, not since I was 14 and hanging out in the only diner in Garden. Haven't been into low-risk, no-reward games since moving to the city. Why? Yeah, and probably some ghosts from the time of the Superman. I'm not really interested in supernatural mysteries. Don't know it, but also... The shot couldn't have come from you, or we would have all heard it downstairs.
She has it. Bunch now. No one mentioned.
That didn't go so good. You've got to make something better.
So, Heart of Gold Tommy fucked me over too. Never trust a musician.
That really counts as a word. Let me twist the knife, just in case. Make her more aspect.
Yeah, that's it. What now? You're going to arrest me for drug trafficking?
She's more upset than she is.
That's your prerogative. No. Gifts of flowers and candy aren't really my style.
She deliberately avoided the name of what she worked for. Why did people find this out?
I got lucky being a dispatcher. Never had to do any of the really dirty work myself. This gun has only been used for self-defense against serious stuff. Based on what I've heard about you, you are serious stuff.
There's a sinister note in her voice. Even with the darkness, she's afraid of it.
No. Gifts of flowers and candy aren't really my style. So now I'm using revolutionary symbols around? Come on. I never did understand why, when someone died, a hothouse's worth of flowers has to die too. No, I did not. I didn't like him. Hardened mercenaries aren't particularly likable types. this is his conquest? Look, this is not a problem. And definitely not a reason to off someone. Yeah, sure. And I didn't like wild time spending in those foreign islands.
I hate to be the bearer of bad timing, but I don't think she didn't hate it, okay?
Plenty of broken people who don't come with that kind of body count. Besides, they're paid well for what they do. I'm listening. Who doesn't? Oh, you probably mean Claudius. Sure, I've hung out there. She's got this great antenna. It's very powerful. I used it to tune into RCM frequencies. That's how I knew. The view's pretty bomb, too. But you might say the antenna was the main attraction there. Yes, I'm sure. And anyway, as I said before, the shot had to have come from afar. I considered her a good friend, yes. Well, kissing, pinball, and now people. I'm just not following your insinuations, Detective. If I want to stare at a pretty girl, I can pick one up at a bar. Or, worst case scenario, look at a naughty photo. Who has time to go skulking about the whirling, drilling holes in walls? My type? She's everyone's type. She's your type. Are you sure you're not the one who was excited about the people? Cool, man, cool. I'm glad you got off on it. What the fuck are we talking about? Nope. Look. She has an effect on people. That je ne sais quoi that makes it impossible not to look at her when she walks in. For the same reason that she's everyone's type as an object of desire, she's not even kissable. What the hell, man? Yeah, why not?
The hand slipped from the dial of the compressor almost turned me down. Then she put her hand back. Not yet. Not yet.
Oh, so that's where you were going with this. That's a very sentimental way of putting it. We both had pasts and didn't want to catch up with.
The lieutenant watches her expectantly.
Okay, fine. I was into her. Bossy was into me too for a time, I know it. We even fooled around on it. And yeah, after we...
Class only said that many things. Someone is lonely.
If that's what she wants on the record, so be it. I'm not about to go into details for you to jerk off to later.
Seriously, just move on. Really? Is that blood on the ground? Are your ears?
Yeah, really? She rejected me with some wishy-washy bullshit about how she was confused because she felt so close to me and valued my friendship so much, and how guilty. I knew that wasn't the whole story, but thought, fine, I'll take it.
Oh, you will. It was a important thing.
Yeah, one time we had both been drinking, I said some heated things about how dangerous her patterns could be. I was a little worried she'd blow it out of proportion in her head. All the drugs she was doing can make you feel like you're living in a DeLorean tragedy.
By the way, DeLorean treasures are still held in high regard for innovation in language and motifs. They are also known for overall relations.
Yeah, the girl seemed terrified. The merc was beyond caring what happened to his mortal coil. It was a no-brainer. Go ahead. It's your body. And? You sure don't.
The Greek shoulder?
No.
This is such a
A knocked away 80s bucket. 2 barrels.
That isn't it.
No, they're not practical. The gun store. Trigger happy jacks. What did you think? That I'm going to squeal in my gun supplier? Sorry, I'm not that kind of guy. Yeah, evidence. Yeah? Where?
More questions.
I saw you roll into town. I wasn't about to stick around for questioning.
So this is what she was scared to know. This girl, that strange, distant fear is getting closer. It's a fear of yourself.
Yes, you. Everyone says you're his peon. His human cannibal.
Fucking hell. And why me? It's especially bad. Felt like a vein split.
Yes, they do. The cops, the criminals. Why do you think I'm pulled up in here with a goddamn death ray waiting?
If she knows that about you, she must know your rate.
Harry Dubois. One corrupt motherfucker with the disco pants and funny tie. Agent puta madre.
So she knows your name. That doesn't mean you're on the team. Criminals, all of this just means that you're effective. Criminal, I don't know. Sounds pretty convincing to me.
Is that a joke or a threat? I'm guessing both. Yeah, sure.
She doesn't.
I'm sure La Puta Madre himself will explain it all to you. You've been to my lorry. You think the biggest player in Jamrock appreciates competition? Now I have Harry Canover in my lane. Fucking Titus.
She's not going to change her mind, that. She's still waiting for one thing. Possibly small, but she said you were in town. Is that you single or plural? She might know something.
Yeah, you had your death squad with you. What happened to them anyway? Well, it wasn't this scrawny dude. You had 2 guys and a lady. The guys looked pretty buff. Lady wasn't bad either. One of the guys seemed chipper, blonde. The other had a brooding something or other about him. And the woman, that sound about right?
No idea. Oh, literally.
Well, this has been a great talk, really.
She means it. You better.
How should I know? As I keep saying, he already had a bullet in his head when I got to him, and there hasn't been any useful.
Those rings around the eyes. But been staying late on this radio?
Who hasn't? You know, I can still see him there. In Bos's room, lying on his side. He was still warm. The bluish light coming through the broken window made him look as though he'd been dead for a good long while.
She eyes him warily, as though David looks insane. She's refusing to adopt the demeanor of a cold man, and leaving with no one to lead.
It's okay. We just want to...
All right, don't kill yourself over it. I was shooting the shit with Hardy and the boys over it. He sits down with a drink, trying to steady the nerves. So I'd rather sit next to him. Oh yeah, super. But I didn't think too much of it at first. I'd seen her party hard before. No, I really didn't. She's not that easy to read. I just assumed she'd done too much blow. It wouldn't be a first for her. But no such luck. She was in some deep shit. She asked me to come upstairs. The merc she'd been going with was lying on the bedroom floor, dead.
You made it look like you'd been hanging.
What? No. Taking a lynching was her idea.
She was shaken. She wasn't surprised to find out, but afraid.
Yeah, in cold blood. It really surprised me how quickly she was able to get a hold of herself once we got up there. It was like she was another person. The party girl was gone. She asked me to help her drag him into the shower so she could wind the shower head around his neck. To save morbidity. Then she dressed him while I went to get the party girl.
She lied to you about that.
Yeah, I wasn't sure whether to admire her or be disturbed. As I keep telling you cops, we didn't hear anything downstairs. No gunshot.
But even if this is true, weren't you worried against the idea to...
War? The thought crossed my mind. But the mercenary's death was going to have repercussions either way. Although the way things are going...
She doesn't want to talk about this, but not because she has something.
Fuck it. I'm not responsible for these people after what they did to me. What bunker? Don't know anything about it. No one's been around since I set up camp. I'm sure I'm not the first vagabond.
Keep calm. Breathe in. After the pain recedes, The compressor lies broken on its side. It's quiet in your head again. It still hurts like hell.
Наконец-то это закончилось. У меня уже голова начала болеть, блять, от этого. Случилось, сломанный компрессор лежит на боку. В голове снова тишина. Все еще чертовски.
She looks at the machine, assessing the damage. Her hand trembles.
Oh, fuck it. Problem solving.
Ma'am, put the gun down. That's not the solution to your problems. You are...
Oh, yes, it is.
She's truly desperate. She thinks she has no other options. You need to give her options. You know. This is how you talk her out of it. It's the only scenario in which she lives.
Блять, ну короче, что тут скажешь? Она замешана в продаже наркотиков. Короче, сама по себе она там бандитка, и она очень неприятная, короче, баба в целом. Ну, и плюс ко всему, ее нужно задержать, потому что еще пока... Не, я знаю, кто убил ее. Я уже давно догадался, это блондинка убила этого наемника. Вот, это без вариантов, короче. Это вот моя ставка финальная, это блондинка убила. Ну, в принципе, эту ставку я сделал уже давно на самом деле. Если посмотреть стримы, я сразу сказал, что она наемница. И она все это специально сделала, чтобы заварить, ну, заваруху эту сделать. И причем выстрел был какой-то, ну, выстрел был из комнаты, блядь, а не снаружи комната, а изнутри. То есть, как бы, ну, так вот. Именно так, нужно дать. Просто уходи. Я не могу ее отпустить, блядь.
She pulls the trigger before you finish your sentence.
Она нажимает на спусковой крючок раньше, чем ты успеваешь закончить.
You watch as her brains trickle out through her neon hair.
Так.
Lieutenant Yefreitor Dubois, control your emotions. We did our job. This won't be the worst thing that happens on this case, believe me. You can't let this...
There is no coming back from this one. It will stay with you in nightmares.
Да иди ты нахуй.
Our job. It went really bad. And now we need...
This is the right thing to do. Clean up, keep a cool head.
Fuck! We are cops. Everything is our fault if we let it be. We clean up. It may take days for processing to pick up her body. We need to move it somewhere. That tent there.
Да, окей. Окей. Ну все, можно пистолет, кстати, складывать сюда. Капсюльный револьвер Нахтвей А80. Так. Шо, еще второй пистолет. Дальше. Это что? 8. Ничего себе, нормально, слушайте. Друамин плюс 3 здоровья. О, нормально. Что это?
The plain red tent stands by dispassionately. It was pitched by practiced hands. She was used to camping out. You see a rolled up sleeping bag and person.
We should put her in the sleeping bag, so the rats don't get to her.
The lieutenant nods. There she lies, cocooned in the sleeping bag, surrounded by empty cigarette packs, books, and half-read magazines. Magazines. You should look through them. Assorted soft covers, mostly pulp horror. A motor carriage lies buried in the snow on one cover. On another, a ghost airship. You also see a collection of radio enthusiast magazines.
See anything?
Rager Monthly, Journal of Material Science. More Technological Digest. One of the magazines doesn't have images on the cover. It's not a magazine, it's a leather notebook. You pocket the worn brown leather journal.
We should read this immediately, like...
Сейчас, ну давайте, прямо сейчас.
A thick journal. The cover is worn like someone used to carry it around in their back pocket. It's made of full-grain leather. The lower left corner of the back cover sports an embossed brand name, Schneller. Schneller is a stationery brand from Gottwald. She had good taste and must have taken what she recorded here seriously. The journal falls open. About 2/3 of its ruled pages have been filled. The large cursive of someone who writes quickly and perhaps too confidently. Many phrases and even paragraphs have been crossed out, with tiny corrections scrawled above, and it's a mix of logistical notes, diagrams, and personal reflections, all dated.
We could learn a lot from this.
Hard to tell exactly. It's mostly noted down in code. Looks like...
There could be useful information about local operations in those notes. We have a junior sergeant at my station who's good with codes. I can give this to her after we finish this.
Professionalism is his coping mechanism. Esoteric radio technology. The most recent ones probably pertain to the latitude compressor, sketches, calculations of distance and density. You make out a familiar spiral shape. Short, wry observations of people and places. Probably a way to pass the time on the road. Also, what appears to be attempts to sort through some difficult decisions. There are a few passages with many questions in them. The way some of those question marks trail off into ellipsis, she was going through a tough time. Staff issues, always tough on the leadership. You smell traces of betrayal. The first entry is from August 2nd of last year. It reads simply, I know my position is precarious. All I can do is make myself as useful as I can, while nothing on March 4th. March 5th, though, well, that's bound to come back and bite me in the ass. I'm bad at this, loyal to a fault. She is referring to betraying a previous employer. Does this suggest she did it in self-defense? That name isn't mentioned as far. Small wonder. Would you talk about La Puta Madre in your journal? You do see an M though. La Puta Madre? M is mentioned on March 9th. Great. M's peon is coming to town, no doubt to investigate the lynching. But also, I feel it in my gut to finally put a bullet in my head while I'm napping in my lorry or on a smoke break. Well, I won't stick around just to twist my own neck. Then again, isn't that what I've been doing ever since I got the call? The call? Did M call her personally? Been holed up here for 3 days now. I'm used to being alone and all, but I don't know when I'll be able to leave, or if I'll be ratted out. Did M feel truly betrayed by me? I was feeling threatened. He'd have to know if he threatened people, they'd take measures to protect themselves. Even I know that. Economic measures first of all. Gotta make a living, right? I can still hear his voice in the receiver. Taste the plastic. The entry ends abrupt. The call was a courtesy. He must have held her in high regard to personally tell her he knew about her plan to run drugs for the competition. The most recent entry is from today. It reads, "Even when I leave here, if I leave here alive, what's my next move? Staging a lynching is a crime, even if I'm not accused of murder on top of that. Forever on the run. Not really my idea of the open road. Man, I was really looking forward to winning."
I don't think she killed the mercenary. It looks like she might have been framed.
Don't get emotional.
By the Hardy Boys, by Classier, by us. No, I don't think you are. Ask someone in your precinct if you want to be sure.
He truly does not believe you are. Perhaps he shouldn't be so trusting.
Classier was the one who pointed the finger at Ruby. Perhaps she was trying to steer us away from herself, or... Either way, we need to keep an eye. One thing is for certain. We have business back in the whirling and rags. Questions to ask. We should get to it.
Отлично, хорошо. Сохраняемся. Так.
The plain red tent rests stoically in...
Ага, ага. Так, это что? Выхода здесь нет. Рядом с водой спать, это, конечно, жестко. Сколько там у нас? 1 очко, да? Там дальше у нас 6 Лапута Мадрас, это танцы в тряпье. Хорошо. Эмпатия. Внушение. Скорость реакции. Координация. Координацию надо было заранее делать, когда нужно было стрелять по трупу. Да, очкарик, конечно, тоже стрелок из него хуёвый, конечно. Но мы оба промахнулись, поэтому мы оба лохи. Корявые. Так, хорошо. Печали. А где там еще, кстати, точка? С острова. Ну, давайте к тачке и потом танцы в трепье зайдем.
Stop. Now. It is time. Crisis. Death. You can feel it in your... Be prepared. Make sure you have your fingers reflexively reach for the Villiers 9mm pistol in your pocket. It would be better if you didn't have to. It's not...
Так, смотрите-ка, нету никого на улице. Опа-на. Опа-на. Твою мать. Опачки. Картинар.
Put your damn gun down. People are gonna get hurt. Shut up! You're not gonna talk yourself out of this, loincloth shit fuck.
This is the mercenary at the gates. His chest rises and falls under the ceramic breastplate. His fingers reach for the butt of his...
Shh. This is a misunderstanding. Nothing irreversible has happened yet. You can just return to your unit and...
The Kipt is merciful, willing to spare us if we just forget about our murdered and humiliated commander. I think we should just kill everyone, Corty.
You are all drunk. Come to your senses. You won't gun down 7 people in the middle of the street.
На самом деле поножи у всех есть, смотрите, то есть есть сапоги, поножи, броня, перчатки, видите, тут, то есть и еще шлемы даже есть. А получается, все закрыто. То есть если на моего персонажа посмотреть, у него только вот эта часть перчаток, то есть вот этого нет, вот этой части, которая закрывает руку дальше. Дальше нету понож вот этих, которые ноги закрывают, есть только сапоги вот эти. Ну, броня, ладно, хорошо, есть, окей. Ну вот. Но шлема у меня пока что нету. То есть у этих полностью все закрыто. Все тело. А у тебя броня не закрывает половину тебя. Пиздец.
Easy, Lizzie. Let me handle it. I know guys like this.
He is facing overwhelmingly superior firepower.
Peaceful.
Nest in your abdominal cavity like a little wild mouse. The masked man's words are barely into...
Fuck, there's the third one. How did we miss something like this?
This third one, he is the most dangerous of them. The lieutenant is genuinely worried for his life. You should consult him before getting in there.
The Mercenary Tribunal. If this turns into a firefight, we should take him out first.
A sound strategy. He's the leader.
My plan is not to get killed, but we have to intervene.
Get lost, comedian. You cops had your chance. Now it's fucking time for some justice.
Бля, я не могу. У меня... Почему я пистолет в руки не взял, блядь? Давайте лучше вот что сделаем, чтобы сразу это... Блядь. Ладно. Говори клоуну. Полиция был шанс, но мы его просрали.
Fuck! Ah, yeah. Welcome to the fucking party. You're probably gonna...
No one is going to kill anyone. Let's just put the guns down and talk.
She doesn't seem to understand the severity of the situation. The wordless gurgle. The killer loads his long rifle. The leader gives a small nod to the helmeted man. You feel your fists contract as you stand there between these men, all carrying real weapons. No, it's okay. Soften him up and trust the others to attack if it comes to that. Even if it comes to a fight, it's always a good idea. I don't know about this getting under his skin. He'll only get under yours. I'm barely keeping you together here. This is it. Peace. Always peace. It has worked thus far. Start with the first idea you have. Move down from that. Please.
Rude. Rude is the killer. Rude, the killer. Owen Cloven. He do-
All of you cunts inside out.
The gunner. The raddest. The killer. What do you think he does?
There, on the rim of Owen Cloven's helmet, you count little stick figures. 19, 20, 21. About 50 little stick figures, all of them black. These men served in Seminine. The two little white figures in the end are from when they moved to Revachol. They're recent.
That's right. Plenty of kips here in Revachol, too.
T, let's fucking do it.
Team. You think I care what that company cunt thinks?
Now is not a good time to strike. He's looking right at your hands. Do something else. Get him distracted.
She's fucking gone. She fucking sailed off. Stay cool. Don't do anything stupid. The company bitch is gone. Laylee's gone. Fuck are we still doing in this shithole?
Guys, I just get in the way. I don't even have a gun.
Hold your ground. Any more of you run, I'll shoot you myself. We're doing this together.
They're afraid. All of them. Trembling reeds in the wind. They'll run, scatter soon. one by one.
Who the fuck is that?
Glacier, the woman upstairs. Where is she?
She left!
Конечно, нас свалила, конечно, уехала.
Unarmed, hunched, but keeping it together.
What am I doing? My fucking establishment is under fire! You know how much windows cost? She left! Her room's cleaned out! Right before these are—
We should have arrested her.
You can feel how upset he is with himself. Just for a second. Then the fear takes.
Hey, Bushman! Your little cunt isn't gonna help you out of this one!
For God's sake, tell him the Hardys didn't do it. Present a case.
Yeah? Who did then? The bird. You're fucking telling me a bird killed our cunt?
His fingers are twitching. That's a draw reflex. He's about to draw.
You think I'm fucking stupid, cop? What if I just shot one of your pals? How about the gift? Go ahead. Tell me again how some cunt did it.
Listen, please. This cop and this drumhead court marshal won't decide who...
Она его сейчас, точнее, он ее пизданет сейчас.
He's gonna do it. He's gonna shoot her. The Hardy Boys confessed to hanging him, all together. Titus said, we took him out back and hanged him. He said it loud, in a...
You're lying. DePaul heard it.
A Kiel Model 40 revolver, 8 rounds in the barrel. The gun slowly sways in his hand. From the
You heard wrong. She and these men have been helping us find the shooter.
Liars.
Sure.
The shot rings in your ears, a low, tinny ring. Then the young woman stands and looks behind her. The shot has flown over her head, crashing a small pane of the glass window behind her.
I missed.
Not true. He purposefully over-aimed and shot the window. You had him second-guessing himself. Oh.
I know what I heard, Corty. They said they killed him. They said it was a good way to end.
That doesn't sound good. You need... What topic? Shots have been fired. Act before it's too late. This was a close call. Dangerous. Ask about him first. You don't want personal facts about his dead friend coming out of your mouth. He has to start it.
Sergeant Major Raoul Cortiner, reporting in to burn this fucking mud hut.
As he moves, the interlocking pieces of his click, click, click. The realization comes to you, like a picture puzzle coming together. His name is Raoul Courtenay. The dead man's name is Elise Courtenay. He's brothers with the deceased. No, probably foster brothers. Elise was put into a foster home.
For killing, maiming, and humiliating our commanding officer. You're all sentenced to death by lead.
Who?
Laylee.
We researched him. We contacted the ICP and looked at his birth records. That was in there. And other things.
They fucking put Laylee in a leaf compactor. And now these cunts finished the job.
It's a mindfuck, Corty. He wasn't put in a leaf compactor. They're making it up to fuck with us. Major, permission to.
Open fire. We can't have that. Interfere now.
He wasn't my fucking brother. We just grew up on the same farm and got beat into place by the same sick fuck.
Beaten by a foster parent or someone on the farm.
Same fucking mud hut town, too.
Okay, good.
Fuck do you mean?
We've heard testimony. People say he was charismatic, a nice guy.
Yeah, he liked to chat up the natives. Share leaflets, squeeze a bit of kip. If Laylee was here, he would spare the lot of you. Maybe shoot one for show. But me, I'm not a big fan of public.
Ready to open fire, Major. At your command.
Baby blue, yeah. Like someone fucked up and put a baby's up. It was creepy, but bitches like that shit, I guess. Or, I don't know what bitches like. I just know how to mow down cloths. Our colonel did what he had to do. It was either one cunt or 100 of them.
In your ship pipes, right in the fuck.
He likes to fire mortars at random coordinates. Wipe out mud huts like that.
He was a good commander. I can see you miss him.
Oh yeah. He would have commanded this fuckhell way better than I did. That didn't happen because Hayseed Bill and fucking murdered him. Had him stink the village up for 2 weeks after.
Listen, man. We told you we...
Told us what? What did you say? Who said that? Tattoo fuck. You'll die first. Find his killer. Cop. His killer stands right there. I know what this tactic is, Silo Sam. You're gonna die for them. Right here.
Big talk, but that leaf compactor won't leave his mind anytime soon. It's a small thing, but it got him off center.
Yes. So what? Nah. I'm clear as day. Fucking government.
Enough already! What is this? We didn't come here to fucking...
Interrupt me again and I will execute you on the spot, Lance Corporal.
here we go. This is an illegal tribunal. Cranor would never sanction this. You only have time for one argument. Choose wisely.
Pops, you have no idea about the rights Cranell extends to us. If I fuck and kill you, hang you to that streetlight by your shit pipes, then that's called a necessary display of force. No one's going to give a shit about dead loincloths.
Okay, it's not much. But he's thinking about something else. Now fire. Fuck them up. Do it. The muscles on your back tense up. A plume of smoke and fire erupts from the gun, and your hand goes numb from the explosion. The smoke drifts west with the wind. You hear the plaza erupt in violence, slow, like a waterfall in reverse. His lips, moving, swollen with fear, are trying to say, shoot him, but he can't. To your right, the killer raises his rifle and takes aim at you. His moves are steady, but the long barrel of the rifle sways slowly. An Easter AR-FA-7, built for taking out light armored vehicles. It will devastate you. You leap left. A huge head passes mere millimeters from your side, tearing fabric off your coat. Feels like the lightest of tucks. The man tilts his head, trying to see through the clearing smoke for the next shot. Watch out. To your left. DePaul is about to take a shot too.
God, please.
He's aiming for the eye slot in Rude's helmet. An extremely difficult shot.
Да бля, он не попадет. Он же не попадет. Он же кривой. Он же, блядь, не мог в спокойной обстановке попасть в ремень, блядь, в защелку эту ебучую. Просто с 2 метров нахуй. Как он, блядь, это я не верю в это. Это будет просто рофл. Он целится в глазную щель в шлеме Руда. Сложно высветить. Попал. Ни хрена себе. Мы их разъебали. Потом
but it misses. You hear a scream behind you.
Позади ты слышишь крик. Ничего себе. А, попала в эту, что ли, дурочку. Но мне ее не жалко. Вообще не жалко эту мразь.
Blood gushes from the helmet's eye sockets as Rude staggers back, disoriented. The sounds coming from his an unbelievable shot from the lieutenant.
Да вот именно, что он просто не, ну, как это сказать, ну, не unbelievable, блядь. Это реально unbelievable. Смотрите, тут расстояние 10 метров, блядь, наверное. А он не мог вот отсюда попасть по этой хуйне, по трупу, бля, поэтому. Пипец просто.
Glenn, dying
О,
in a
Глен,
puddle of blood
Глен,
behind you.
пиздец.
His mangled torso has 2 gunshot wounds. Blood gushes out of them like red geysers.
Хлещет из ранами фонтаном.
You see 2 crazed eyes stare at you through all the smoke
О,
and
этот еще
the
живой,
panic.
смотрите-ка.
With blood gushing from his face, the man raises his pistol at you. Then he squeezes the trigger.
Крючок, посмотрите, ему глаза скорость реакции невозможно 20, увернуться от выстрела. Бля, да ладно. Ну, давайте. Да, конечно же, нет. И... Так. У меня же броня.
You can't. There is no
Неудача.
time.
Ничего себе.
Something inside your pelvis explodes. Your entire lower body is on fire, and your legs can't support you. You fall down like a rag doll.
Валишься на землю, тряпичный
The
куб.
pain is too immense to scream. It pushes the air out of your lungs. Everything goes dark. A distant blur as you recede into it.
Таз.
Feels slick and warm with blood. The pain is too strong to know what has happened there. Even clutching to your consciousness takes everything you got.
Слишком сильное, чтобы понять, что, знаешь, еле-еле целят за сознание.
Most of what's down there, it's all gone. Open your eyes now. You have to see what's happened. The Hardy Boys are screaming, fighting, dying. Someone jumps over you. Nearby gunfire shatters glass.
Stop! The cop! Protect the cop! He's down!
Nothing. A persisting darkness. Dancing lights of pain. Distant shadows cast by them.
You're bleeding out.
Shit. Из темноты появляется силуэт, который становится...
Stay with me. Yes, keep talking. You hear me? Stay awake.
But you can't. It's so hard. Your eyelids grow heavy, and the sounds ever more distant. And a cold, a slender white shadow towering. Someone stands there, raising her pistol at him. The lieutenant does not see it. He's pushing down on your wound with both hands. Scream immediately. He's gonna die.
Лейтенант, я тебе Ким очень тебе доверять.
No, you scream. Behind you, from your bloody lips, your eyes are full of fear. There is no room for hesitation. The lieutenant turns around and fires. You hear a faint scream, a woman's. Then the sound disappears, like someone.
This is death. One more door, baby. One more door.
The fight? There is no fight. The fight is over. It was lost. He's not taking it. His body is not taking it. And rotting. And being disinfected. And smelling of drugs and...
He can't go. Not before there was a radio in the distance. A radio of the world. Playing sounds.
Hours turn to days. So Soon we will get up again and go through it again.
The engine of a caprice.
No, it was him. He is the infernal engine. Can't you see? He never
Жесть
stopped.
какая-то, слышите? Вообще лютейшая какая-то жесть. Просто пиздец какой-то, блядь. Ни хрена там замес был. Ну и это конец игры?
You see the lieutenant's familiar shape in the orange jacket.
Так,
It turns
подождите.
double,
Не
then triple
Ты
from
видишь
the
знакомый
pain.
силуэт. Рыжий куртки Ким, он более боится. Троится Ким. Я жив.
Sunrise, Parabellum.
С добрым утром, Парабеллум, говорит лейтенант. Он стоит посреди свежеубранной комнаты. Вентилятор обрамляет его голову, как ним, а лицо спухло от синяков.
What happened? You shot the major in the face. Firefight. Yes. As retaliation, their rifleman tried shooting you. He missed, or you dodged. Then I shot and wounded him, while Glenn took a bullet in the spine. It was meant for me. Glenn did not survive.
This is not the first person to die in his place.
Titus, Fat Angus, and Theo charged. Angus and Theo did not make it. They both died before they made it to intensive care. Titus survives. So do Alain and the musician. I forget his name. Yes, he's still alive. You were bleeding out by then. I think you said something about your wife, and you warned me. I was able to disarm one of them. I killed her. And that's what happened. The Pole was the last to die. Evrard had their bodies returned to Crenel for a funeral. The company is because we deterred them? Or Joyce did? Maybe the harbor in full lockdown is too costly a target. Or maybe they are simply taking their time and will attack soon. I don't know. This is the one. 3. Glenn, Theo, Angus. The fat one, he took a lot of bullets. And Theo, he was just too old for combat. All. Let's face it, officer, and this is both of our fault. It could have gone a little better. 6 people are dead.
Class 1. Ruby.
But what's done is done. The violence is cordoned off. The Hornets did not get into the beehive. The worst scenario has not materialized. Yet. And we are still alive. Both of us.
He did not expect you both to survive once you stepped between those two armies.
Mr. Gart cleaned it. It took him an entire day. 2 days, in and out. You've been up enough to take Dramamine and curse. And drink water. Sunrise Parabellum. Sunrise, prepare for war. It's an old revolutionary saying.
Isn't that written on your...
It served you well. The gates of the harbor are boarded up. The streets are a little more empty. Apocalyptic violence is yet to erupt, I am relieved to say. I think we may have held it off, for now. Barely. That's right. Ouch, indeed. It's not ouch time yet. You just got the Dramamine pill an hour ago. Wait until it wears off.
Dramamine? Then it's not that bad. Neither surgical nor organ damage bad, but still under-the-counter bad.
Reasonably bad. You were shot in the left quadriceps. That's your thigh.
Бедро.
The outer side, thankfully, no major arteries were nicked. The bullet was removed and a bacterial infection treated with mercurochrome. We will see.
You won't be able to dance much, that's for sure. You should be able to live with limping around, though.
No. I called your station after the fight. The injury was logged in. They told me they've sent officers to join you on the site. I'm sure
That means he hasn't seen them around while you were out. They're not really worried about you. If they were, wouldn't they be here?
I don't know.
He may have some idea, but he's not gonna get into it with you.
I did. No need. Not very. I have a concussion from that woman beating me with the butt of her gun. I tried to... Things would be worse if you didn't warn me. Thank you. I did not see her coming. Stupid of me.
Жесть, прям жесть, блядь, прям жесть. Ну, вставай. Встанет? Да, встал.
Easy now.
Your balance is way off. You feel like you're about to fall over.
How are you? Your disco days should have been done quite a while back, Lieutenant Freighter. I honestly don't know. We can't talk to Everard. The harbor is in lockdown. Everyone in there is outside our grasp now. Joyce has left too, thanks to our I don't know what to think. It might not have been a bad idea. There is a pin somewhere in the machine. Something is keeping Connell from sending in a death squad. Maybe it's her. Maybe she kept her hand. Either way, Ruby's gone. And Classio too. We really should have arrested her, you know?
Я знаю, я чувствовал эту херню, но просто там такая мелочь. Я еще помню на одном из прошлых стримов, когда говорил, ну, когда эта ситуация была, типа, вот ее арестовать или нет. Короче, мне он нужен был для расследования, короче, получается. А я дурканул и не стал ее арестовывать, короче, эту бабу. Вот. Хотя все указывало на то, что она там, типа, виновна. Но я уже на тот момент уже знал, что это она. Короче, без вариантов. Вот. А я думаю, типа, ну, пока не будем. Типа, на следующий день я ее арестую, короче, а потом хуй. Не получилось.
Guard confirmed she left 20 minutes prior to the tribunal showing up. I don't know. I think the dangerous theory you presented on Classio, or whatever her name is, was wrong. We have not found a motive or a weapon for her. Honestly, I think our investigation has not produced a single critical
Все, это
suspect.
типа финал? Это финал вот это вот? По правде сказать, мне не кажется, что в рамках расследования мы нашли хоть одного правдоподобного подозреваемого. Что ничего там. Что я шестерка Лапута Мадре, так? Санландыши, каким цветы.
I don't know. That's been there for years. Yes, God cursed the footprints, not solving the case for us. Au diable. We should go upstairs, rethink the ballistics in situ. I agree with this. What else? It's extremely easy. There are thousands lying around from the war, all completely unusable. It's precisely how easy it is that makes that bullet useless. We could find thousands more if we wanted. All of Revachol is full of them. What? Every piece of garbage in the city is not connected to the case.
He's wrong.
Okay. Don't be narcissistic. Half the cops in Revachol West are his peonies. Even if you are, it is not a decisive factor in this case.
That does make some sense. He arches his brow. The ceiling fan patiently spins overhead.
It really is very hard. No. Are you ready to limp? Good. Where do you want to limp to?
The lieutenant did mention doing more ballistics.
Why not? Another look at the window, perhaps? The one he was shot through. I don't know. I can't think of anything better.
As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint. From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular. It's just what superstar law officers do. They squint at lights, and they solve shit. Yeah, you have. You're a big dick cop, Dick Mullen, Salam Rocky Bayi, badass on-the-edge disco cop. Time to recede into a ludicrous fantasy world. Here we go. Camera, lights. Yeah, you know. Beneath it is just heartbreak, a pulmonary tract infection, atherosclerotic disease. This is where you say action and reconceptualize all that. This is the beginning of your legend. With a sudden flash, the world freezes around you, and you along with it. In an iconic monochrome solution, a black silhouette.
Не конец. Еще не конец. Что у нас тут осталось? Разбой. Все еще, все осталось. Идет кто-то выстрел. Ну, так. Все еще есть шансы. Прыгиватель стерео 8. Новую колонку. Так. А, дверь открыта. Можно зайти в номер Кима. Белая масса, часовой бутылок внутри нет.
The bathroom mirror.
Так, ну давай зайдем. Что там за номер? Он маленький какой-то, смотрите. Будильник заведен на 6:50. Шкафчик от медикаменты и медицинские инструменты. Антибиотики. Так.
These papers bear the stamp of the RCM. They appear to be fragments of the lieutenant's paperwork, half finished. You make out notes on this.
I had Garth open the door to your room. You were running a low bacterial fever the first night. Back there on the plaza, I think you very nearly had a heart attack. Alcoholism has damaged you more.
Прикольно.
I am sure neither of us feels solid enough to keep Lloyd.
Хорошо. Ну. А, окей.